You think a hot dog is a sandwich?
Absolutely.
Is a sub a sandwich?
Yes. I mean, it's called a submarine sandwich, to be fair.
You're freaking. Ted Neverson said that too.
Well, it is what it is. I'm just saying.
What about a hero? A euro, whatever it's called.
Oh, Euro?
Yeah.
That's a hard one. I'm gonna say yes because it's covered in bread.
For the reason why I think a hot dog is a sandwich is because it's you see a sub is like opened. Like,
Yes, yes.
And people are saying, nah, it's not a sandwich. Like, what?
Yeah, but it is. Hot dog is a sandwich. It's just how it is.
But then what came first, the chicken or the egg?
Chicken.
Elaborate.
Because if there wasn't a chicken, then how would the egg appear? Because eggs are only laid by chickens.
Oh. Okay. Then, frick. I'm trying to make. I don't know. I'm trying to say like dumb questions, but get dumb responses. Give me a minute. I'm like thinking.
Alright.
Okay, Sean. Sean.
Huh?
Would you rather have unlimited bacon, but no games, or unlimited games, but no more games?
Hang on a minute.
You want me to repeat the question?
Please do.
Alright. Would you rather have unlimited bacon and no more video games, or unlimited games, but no more games?
What?
You-
This doesn't. What? Huh?
What do you think?
Uh,
What would be your choice, Sean?
what? Uh, that's a good question.
So yeah, your choice is unlimited bacon, any kind of bacon you want, but no more games, or unlimited games but no more games. So,
Oh wait, I think I understand the question now.
okay.
Um, Probably. Let's see. Probably unlimited games.
Okay. Interesting. Let me tabulate the points.
Okay.
You're not right, but you're not wrong. It's kind of an open-minded question. It can be interpret that word
Interpreted.
in many different ways, and it could be anything. You can have unlimited bacon but no games, so you have bacon, unlimited bacon, but you can't have games. Or you can do the unlimited games but no games, so you have unlimited games but no games. Yeah. And that's a great way.
Okay.
Oh my god. Am I dyslexic today?
Listen, you already made my brain explode. That question.
Well, this is a great segue to welcome to the podcast, the Not LWIAY podcast.
Yes.
I don't know. I was trying to sound like Ted Neverson, but it didn't work. Gaming. Yeah, welcome back to the Not LWIAY podcast where two cousins talk about stuff. I don't know.
Yes.
This is another filler episode. I'm kidding. Well, most of the episodes are kind of filler, you think?
In a way.
In a way,
In
yeah.
their own ways.
Yeah, like, it could be a separate episode. You can take one episode and discard the other ones. There might be like a favorite episode you guys like. You just never say anything about it. Like, I like a lot of episodes on different podcasts, but I always go to like my biggest favorite one. If you guys know Distractable, then my favorite episode is Bob's Fridge. That's where Bob gets so mad about some delivery guys and his fridge, like they ruined his like backyard and stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it's a funny listen if you guys haven't heard that.
I've only seen the animated like part.
Yeah, it's really good.
Play's main channel.
But yeah. So yeah, podcast.
Oh yeah.
It's been like a month now. No, more than a month, because we uploaded a video. The episode 14 in June, and it's August when we upload this. So
Yes.
about a month.
Also, you know what that means.
Yeah.
It's number 15, Burger King foot lettuce.
Yeah, the 15 Burger King foot lettuce. Is the 15th episode titled Burger King foot lettuce of the last season?
That's a good question.
I don't think so. But I'll check. Surprisingly, no, it's not.
It's not. It was one of our Godzilla videos.
Yeah. We might do one of those with something else, but I don't know.
Oh yeah.
As a bit of a warning for people who are a bit of faint of heart or don't like spooky stuff, we're reacting to creepypasta. Well, we're reading creepypastas
Spooky
and
spaghettis.
scary stories. We got a
Basically
scary
the same
story
thing.
that I wrote, and
Yes.
we got others. I am freaking tired. Yeah, so if you guys don't want to be scared, go watch, I don't know, Try Not to Laugh 5, I guess.
Yes, that was a banger.
I did a Don't Laugh recently, like yesterday. Like it came out yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah,
And
I saw that.
I get a message from Anthony. You remember Anthony?
I think so.
I get a message from him at 2 in the morning saying, this video is amazing. I'm like, I'm not gonna freaking wake up at 2 in the morning to respond to a freaking comment. Like, I'm sleeping at that time. But yeah, before we eventually, read our stories, we got some
Yes.
small talk to do.
Oh yeah.
A lot has been happening whenever this video is recorded.
It sure has.
Like the past 2 to 3 days ago. Days. 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 Get that
Yes.
in your head, please. Days.
Yes.
I don't know what it was. I might have gotten athlete's foot, even though I'm not an athlete. And I got like there's some strange itch that it has. Like there's an itch that you can't satisfy. And it was during work at some point.
Yeah.
So when I got back home on that day, I took off my shoe and my sock, and it was freaking swollen.
Ooh.
And I didn't go to work the day after that.
Yes.
You guys got me Burger King.
You got the Bacon King.
And your dad thought I freaking kicked like something.
Yes.
And I thought I broke my bones, but I didn't. It just said the athlete's foot got like swollen or something. I don't know. And yeah. And also today I got my blood drained.
Yes.
Yay. The freaking person who was doing it was like, don't cry. I'm freaking looking at it as they take my blood. I'm like, what the frick?
And that was your first time, right?
I think so. When I got back in the car, I almost fainted.
Huh?
My head was like a bit like lightheaded. I was like, "Oh frick, what's going on?"
Oh, that's why you drink water before you do
I
that.
didn't drink water, but man, I drank a lot of water that whole day.
Yeah, that's why you drink water before you go to get your blood drawn.
But yeah, they took like 2 vials of blood, and I'm like just staring at it, like, "Oh my god, what?"
Wow.
And this is the first time ever seen my blood outside of nosebleed. Just like I get the occasional nosebleeds. There's times like I get nosebleeds in a row, which freaking sucks.
Yep.
And yeah, it sucks. And then I went to the dentist like the week before that.
Mm.
And the dentist was like, no more Dr. Pepper. I was like, God, man. They said it's not like a cavity, but it said just brush your teeth back then, you'll be alright.
Ah, yes.
And then I have to get something for my silver tooth in a few weeks. A lot of freaking dentist and doctor stuff. This is before we go to Miami. Whenever this video is posted, I'm already there. Hi, Future Elmer. I hope you're listening.
Gaming.
Get a girlfriend, you freaking idiot. You got a whole week to become a Florida man over there. Go be a Florida man and get a girlfriend. I don't know. I don't think that works.
I don't think it works that way.
No. But before we do that, we got a... Give me a minute. Hey, shut up. We're going to get copyright striked. What? YMCA.
Because I bought the company. You see, normally when a company...
Oh, Schlatt bought game subs.
Ah.
Yeah.
What?
I know. I don't even take drink fill.
I don't even take drink.
I don't take drink filled, man. Who does that? Not me. Oh frick. I better not get copyright strike. Give me a minute. I'm trying to do something. I might cut this bit out. Alright, we got a contractual obligation.
Yes, yes indeed. Obligation.
This video is sponsored by Ray. I'm kidding.
Oh my god. Buy a Ridge wallet.
A contractual obligation. That's what we got. To make content for you guys. Nice.
Oh yes.
Alright.
Yes,
Alright, kids. Small talk's over. Small talk's over.
Okay.
Oh, you got something to say?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was looking at the Gamers Up site. Don't go over there. It's crazy.
I know about it.
Yes. When did they start that?
I don't know, but Schlatt said it was like some rare ones, and he frickin' burned them. He bought them and then he burned them for a frickin' ad. All right. Now, okay. Small talk is over.
See, it's time to get serious.
We gotta use our quiet voices for this one, okay, boys?
I cannot do that because my mic won't pick it up.
Oh, just get close to it and just go. Alright, guys. Today's story is a very wild.
What?
I don't know. I just freaking my brain went like this and it freaking died. Alright, guys. Today we're gonna read some scary stories with me.
ASMR.
Not really, but I'm just going to do this for a bit.
True.
Alright. First story of the day.
Yeah. Alright then.
That just freaking goes out. First story of the day. Alright, so this is a story I actually typed down and wrote it. And it's about sleep paralysis.
Oh boy.
And if you guys don't know what sleep paralysis is, it's kind of like waking up inside of your head.
Yeah.
And you're in your room, you can't move, and you see something. And that's where the story comes in. Alright, okay. You have woken up in the middle of the night, thinking you needed to use the bathroom or needed a drink of water. You get up and head towards the bathroom or the kitchen. But something's wrong. You can't move. Almost like you're frozen in place. And the only thing you can do is look around. But you can't move your head. Only your eyes. You thought, perhaps, you woken up before the rest of your body has fully awoken. So you close your eyes and try to fall asleep. But you sense something lurking around your room. Almost like whatever is in your room is watching you. So you open your eyes and scan the room. You look at your laundry basket, your desk, your closet, and see nothing. Until you look at the bedroom door. A cold feeling shoots down your spine as you look at a shadow lurking from the doorframe. You can't tell what it is, but you close your eyes, wishing it wasn't real. But your gut tells you that the shadow moved. So you open your eyes and see it inside your room, blocking the door as it continues to stare at you. So you try to find a way to wake up, like get a limb to move, or move your body, as it continues to get closer and closer, until it is right in front of you, as its dark and slender hand tries to reach you, as it smiles, knowing that you can't do anything. You finally wake up with a shock as you look around. It was only a dream. Thank God. You sighed as you lay back down to sleep, as something watches you from your closet. Watching. And that's where the story ends, boys. Yeah, I did that. I wrote that.
Nice.
It's not as scary as the next stories that you guys are going to hear, but... What the frick?
Oh, hold on. I'm gonna mute myself real quick.
Alright, so, I kind of want to continue this story in some way, and whenever Sean comes back. So, how you guys been? I hope good, because it's been a while since I actually sat down and did the podcast.
I'm back.
Alright, good. Alright, so I'm thinking of continuing it for a bit. Alright. So let's say, instead of going back to sleep, you're like, alright, I need to go to the bathroom. Alright. So you walk down, or you get out of your room, and you head towards the bathroom.
Yeah.
Use the bathroom, and then your mind's like, oh, I need some water. So you go down from your stairs, go to the kitchen, but you're stopped. Because you see something in front of the kitchen, in the walkway to the kitchen. You guys can't tell what it is, but you can see a little bit of a shape.
Yeah.
A little cold feeling comes as you continue to look at this thing.
Yeah.
Quickly, without waking up your parents. You head back to your room and you get a notepad and a pencil. Get back down, sit on one of the stairs, and start drawing the outline of this figure. You keep looking back up, looking back down as you continue drawing. And the last time, you look down, and you see the frame of that figure. But once you look up, the shadow is right in front of you as a giant smile from ear to ear as it starts to laugh.
Hmm.
From your POV from your parents' room, all they hear is a scream. Then silence. A little bit of footsteps. And there's you, opening the door, with a giant smile on your face, ear to ear, as you begin to laugh, knowing the Shadow Man got you.
Ooh.
I didn't write that down. That was a part that I wanted to do, but I completely forgot about it. And boom. That part is inspired by Markiplier. He did see a shadow thing, like very young, and he drew it. And it freaking became a full thing.
Ooh.
So he got scared and freaking ran back up. Went back to sleep. I just continue that. And yeah. By the way, yeah, the main character's dead.
Ah, yes.
It's kind of like a skinwalker now.
Ooh. It. Hang on. Did you just say it?
What?
The main character. Did you just refer to the main character as an it?
Did I? Oh.
You did. You did.
Who knows? He or she. I don't know.
Ah, yes.
So that's my story with a little bit of a continuation. And yeah, that's what the whole topic of this episode is. Scary stories. Oh.
Ah, yes.
So I'm going to let Sean take over this one for a bit. How many stories you got?
At least 2.
All right. Which one's your longest one?
Let me see. It's definitely not that one. Okay, I think it's this one.
Is it?
Which one do you want me to do first?
Names for the titles, please.
Okay, first off, I got Polybius.
Okay.
And then I have Candle Cove.
I want to hear Candle Cove.
Okay, I'll do Candle Cove. That's coincidentally the longest one.
All right.
And so it's still not that long.
I'm going to yield my time for this, so let's hear.
Okay, quick side note before we start. This story is told in the form of like a forum post, like 4chan.
Ah.
Or something like that.
Okay.
So in case, so I'm not reading like the thing, I'm just going to read all the words and stuff.
All right.
Okay. So, does anyone remember this kid's show? It was called Candle Cove, and I must have been 6 or 7. I never found reference to it anywhere, so I think it was on a local station around 1971 or 72. I lived in Ironton at the time. I don't remember which station, but I do remember it was on a weird time, like 4 p.m. Yeah, it seems really familiar to me. I grew up outside of Ashland and was 9 years old in 72. Candle Cove. Was it about pirates? I remember a pirate marionette at the mouth of a cave talking to a little girl. Yes! Okay, I'm not crazy. I remember Pirate Percy. I was always kind of scared of him. He looked like he was built from parts of other dolls. Real low budget. His head was an old porcelain baby doll. Looked like an antique that didn't belong on the body. I don't remember what station this was. I don't think it was WTSF though. Sorry to resurrect this old thread, but I know exactly what station you mean, Skyshale. I think Candle Cove ran for only a couple months in 71, not 72. I was 12 and I watched it a few times with my brother. It was channel 58, whatever station that was. My mom let me switch to it after the news. Let me see what I remember. It took place in Candle Cove, and it was about a little girl who imagined herself to be friends with pirates. The pirate ship was called the Laughingstock, and Pirate Percy wasn't a very good pirate because he got scared too easily. And there was Calliope music constantly playing. Don't remember the girl's name. Janice or Jade or something. I think it was Janice. Thank you, Jaren. Memories flooded back when you mentioned the Laughingstock and Channel 58. I remember the bow of the ship was a wooden smiling face with the lower jaw submerged. It looked like it was swallowing the sea, and it had that awful Ed Wine voice and laugh. I especially remember how jarring it was when they switched from the wooden plastic model to the foam puppet version of the head that talked. Haha, I remember now too. Do you remember this part, Skyshell? You have to go inside.
Huh.
Ugh. Mike, I got a chill reading that. Yes, I remember. That's what the ship always told Percy when there was a spooky place he had to go in, like a cave or a dark room where the treasure was. And the camera would push in on Laughingstock's face with each pause. You have to go inside. With his two eyes askew and that flopping foam jaw and the fishing line that opened and closed it. Ugh, it just looked so cheap and awful. You guys remember the villain? He had a face that was just a handlebar mustache above really tall, narrow teeth. I honestly thought the villain was Pirate Percy. I was about 5 when the show was on. Nightmare fuel. That wasn't the villain. The puppet with the mustache, that was the villain's sidekick, Horace Horrible. He had a monocle too, but it was on top of the mustache. I used to think that meant he had only one eye. But yeah, the villain was another marionette, the Skin Taker. I can't believe what they let us watch back then. Jesus H. Christ, the Skin Taker. What kind of a kid's show were we watching? I seriously could not look at the screen when the Skin Taker showed up. He just descended out of nowhere on his strings, just a dirty skeleton wearing that brown top hat and cape, and his glass eyes that were too big for his skull. Christ almighty. Wasn't his top hat and cloak all sewn up crazily? Was that supposed to be children's skin? Yeah, I think so. Remember his mouth didn't open and close. His jaw just slid back and forth. I remember the little girl said, "Why does your mouth move like that?" And the Skin Taker didn't look at the girl, but at the camera instead. "To grind your skin!" I'm so relieved that other people remember this terrible show. I used to have this awful memory, a bad dream I had when the opening jingle ended. The show faded in from black, and all the characters were there. But the camera was just cutting to each of their faces, and they were just screaming. And the puppets and marionettes were flailing spastically. And all the screaming. The girl was just moaning and crying like she had been through hours of this. I woke up many times from that nightmare. I used to wet the bed when I had it. I don't think that was a dream. I remember that. I remember that was an episode. No, not possible. There was no plot or anything. I mean, literally just standing in place, crying and screaming for the whole show. Maybe I'm manufacturing the memory because you said that, but I swear to God I remember seeing what you described. They just screamed. Oh God, yes, the little girl Janice. I remember seeing her shake. And the Skin Taker screaming through his gnashing teeth, his jaw careening so wildly I thought it would come off its wire hinges. I turned it off, and it was the last time I watched. I ran to tell my brother, and we didn't have the courage to turn it back on. But I visited my mom today in the nursing home. I asked her about when I was little in the early 70s, when I was 8 or 9, and if she remembered a kid's show, Candle Cove. She said she was surprised I could remember that, and I asked why. And she said, "Because I used to think it was so strange that you said, 'I'm gonna go watch Candle Cove now, Mom.' And then you would turn the TV to static and just watch dead air for 30 minutes. You had a big imagination with your little pirate show."
What?
That was Candle Cove.
Dang. That was... Wow, that... What? The Skin Taker, Jesus.
The Skin Taker.
It kind of reminded me of a FNAF character, but not in the way you thought. Just... Can you do the description of the Skin Taker?
Yeah, hold on. Let me show you. Let me see if we got... Where was it again? Skin Taker. Where can we keep showing? Alright. He just descended out of nowhere on his strings, just a dirty skeleton wearing that brown top hat and cape, and his glass eyes that were too big for his skull.
Okay, and then, yeah. There's a character in one of the stories, like the short stories that Scott Cawthon released, called the Stitch Wraith. And it has, like, different parts from different animatronics. But
Mm,
I don't know why that reminded me of that. Of
mm.
That's weird. I don't know. That is really interesting and kind of disturbing.
It is, especially the ending. The ending was like it wasn't even there.
And
Just
people
kids watching
say like,
static.
and people saying like, yeah, I remember that.
Exactly.
Wow, that was a bit terrifying. I was kind of typing a few things down.
Mm.
Um, Not notes, more like another story I'm kind of making.
Yeah.
And we'll see if I get to finish it by the end of this episode. But it is my turn to tell a story. Well, I got another one, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
All right, the girl in the photograph. That is the next
Ooh.
story. It's relatively short.
Mm.
Should be short enough for you to tell your story, which should give me enough time to finish writing the story that I'm doing right now.
Yeah, because the next one was really short. I didn't realize how short it was. I also didn't realize how relatively long the Camel Cove was.
Yeah, that is kind of why I asked you to do that one,
Mm.
because I was kind of typing stuff down. I didn't start until nearly midway into the story.
Mm.
I don't type fast, so all right. The girl in the photograph. One school day, a boy named Tom was sitting in class doing math. It was 6 more minutes until after school. As he was doing his homework, something caught his eye. His desk was right next to the window. As he turned and looked to the grass outside, it looked like a picture. When school was over, he ran to the spot where he saw it. He ran fast so no one else could grab it. He picked it up and smiled. It was a picture of the most beautiful girl he had ever seen. He had a dress with tights on, and red shoes, and her hand was formed into a peace sign. She was so beautiful he wanted to meet her. So he ran all over the school and asked everyone if they knew her or ever seen her before. But everyone he asked said no. He was devastated. When he went home, he asked his older sister if he knew the girl, but unfortunately, she also said no. It was very late. So Tom walked up the stairs and placed the picture on his bedside table and went to sleep. In the middle of the night, Tom was awakened by a tap on his window. It was like a nail tapping. He got scared, but after the tapping, he heard a giggle. He saw a shadow near his window, so he got out of bed, walked towards his window, and opened it, and followed the giggles. By the time he reached it, it was gone. The next day, he asked his neighbors if they knew her, and everyone said sorry, no. When his mom came home, he even asked her if she knew her. She said no. He went to his room and placed the picture on his desk and fell asleep. Once again, he was awakened by a tapping. He took the picture and followed the giggles. He walked across the road, and then suddenly he got hit by a car. He was dead with a picture in his hands. The driver got out and tried to help him, but it was too late. Suddenly, he saw the picture and picked it up. And he saw a cute girl holding up 3 fingers.
Mm.
Yeah, it's relatively short, and what my theory is that the painting's cursed. Like, it leads you to
Yes,
your
the
death,
picture.
and I don't know. And whenever someone dies with that in its hand,
Mm.
that ups up its kill count. Imagine just seeing just a fist, and someone's like, "What the frick?" I don't know. Just 1 finger and then 2. That's weird. That dude's gonna be the next victim. Yeah, relatively short one. Just enough for Sean to tell his story.
It's another short one. Or
Right.
yeah.
Right, I got to finish the story. All right, go.
All right. So Polybius is a game. So
Okay.
it's an urban legend that was released. It was about a game, 1981. The game was created by a mysterious company called Senses Deletion and was a puzzle shoot 'em up, somewhat like Tempest. It was only released in a few suburbs of Portland, Oregon. It was supposedly very popular, people forming long lines to play it. However, players reported strange things about the game, such as hearing a woman crying and seeing grotesque faces out of the corner of their eyes. Players would also have nightmares, experience nausea, headaches, blackouts, or even develop amnesia. Some even. How am I gonna say this? I'm gonna get demonetized for saying the word.
Like, send the word in chat and I'll check.
Come on. There you go.
Use a different word. Sewer slide.
Ah, okay, yes. Or, okay, some even committed unaliveness. Others stopped playing video games altogether, and at least one became an anti-video game activist. According to the one owner of an arcade, men wearing black suits would often come to collect records from the game. They did not take any money, simply data on gameplay. Because of this, the leading theory is that it was some sort of government experiment using subliminal messages. The game remains in obscurity as around 1 month after its release, all the cabinets suddenly disappeared. One cabinet reappeared in an arcade in 1998, but quickly disappeared again. While some have tried to recreate the game, no one has ever found the original ROM.
Huh.
Dubious.
Okay. That I heard of that game before. It's probably not true, but
No, I'm pretty sure it's not. It's based on a real event though, because there was actually a thing that happened in the 70s. A kid was playing in the arcade game Asteroid so much, and after that, after like he's playing for like 10 hours or so, and after he got
Jesus.
off, he had a heart attack.
Holy crap. I don't think
Yeah.
whatever it's called is real. I think
Polybius is not real, no.
oh, I saw a
But there-
picture of it, but I was like, don't wait, that's real.
Mm.
I'm going to need more time for my story, so
Okay. See if I can find something else.
sorry, podcasters. I'm currently typing down a story, and yeah, so I was gonna
I found a medium length story.
No, you can do that one.
Okay.
In case
So-
in case if there's any word that you think we're not allowed to say, just use a different one.
Okay, yeah. Alright. So this story is a pretty famous one.
Ooh.
It's called The Rake.
Oh yes, the Rake.
Okay. During the summer of 2003, events in the northeastern United States involving a strange human-like creature sparked brief local media interest before an apparent blackout was enacted. Little or no information was left intact, as most online and written accounts of the creature were mysteriously destroyed. Primarily focused in rural New York State, once found in Idaho, self-proclaimed witnesses told stories of their encounters with a creature of unknown origin. Emotions range from extremely traumatic levels of fright and discomfort to an almost childlike sense of playfulness and curiosity. While their published versions are no longer on record, the memories remained powerful. Several of the involved parties began looking for answers that year. In early 2006, this collaboration had accumulated nearly 24 documents dating between the 12th century and present day, spanning 4 continents. In almost all cases, the stories were identical. I've been in contact with a member of this group and was able to get some excerpts from their upcoming book. A Unaliveness Note, 1964. As I prepare to take my life, I feel it necessary to assuage any guilt or pain I have introduced through this act. It is not the fault of anyone other than him. For once I awoke and felt his presence, and once I awoke and saw his form, once again I awoke and heard his voice, and looked into his eyes. I cannot sleep without fear of what I might next wake to experience. I cannot ever wake. Goodbye. Found in the same wooden box were two empty envelopes addressed to William and Rose, and one loose personal letter with no envelope. Dearest Lenny, I prayed for you. He spoke your name. A journal entry translated from Spanish, 1880. I've experienced the greatest terror. I've experienced the greatest terror. I've experienced the greatest terror. I see his eyes when I close mine. They're hollow, black. They saw me and pierced me. His wet hand, I will not sleep. His voice, unintelligible text.
Huh.
A mariner's log, 1691. He came to me in my sleep. From the foot of my bed, I felt a sensation. He took everything. We must return to England. We shall not return here again at the request of the Rake. From a witness, 2006. 3 years ago, I had just returned from a trip from Niagara Falls with my family for the 4th of July. We were all very exhausted after a long day of driving, so my husband and I put the kids right to bed and called it a night. At about 4 a.m., I woke up thinking my husband had gotten up to use the restroom. I used the moment to steal back the sheets, only to wake him in the process. I apologized and told him I thought he got out of bed. When he turned to face me, he gasped and pulled his feet from the end of the bed so quickly. His knee almost knocked me out of the bed. He then grabbed me and said nothing. After adjusting to the dark for a half second, I was able to see what caused the strange reaction. At the foot of the bed, sitting and facing away from us, there was what appeared to be a naked man or a large hairless dog of some sort. Its body position was disturbing and unnatural, as if it had been hit by a car or something. For some reason, I was not instantly frightened by it, but more concerned as to its condition. At this point, I was somewhat under the assumption that we were supposed to help him. My husband was peering over his arm and knee, tucked into the fetal position, occasionally glancing at me before returning to the creature. In a flurry of motion, the creature scrambled across the side of the bed and then crawled quickly in a flailing sort of motion right along the bed until it was less than a foot from my husband's face. The creature was completely silent for about 30 seconds, probably closer to 5. It just seemed like a while. Just looking at my husband, the creature then placed his hand on his knee and ran into the hallway, leading to the kids' rooms. I screamed and ran for the light switch, planning to stop him before he hurt my children. When I got to the hallway, the light from the bedroom was enough to see it crouching and hunched over about 20 feet away. He turned around and looked directly at me, covered in blood. I flipped the switch on the wall and saw my daughter Clara. The creature ran down the stairs while my husband and I rushed to help our daughter. She was very badly injured and spoke only once more in her short life. She said, "He is the Rake." My husband drove his car into a lake that night while rushing our daughters to the hospital. They did not survive. Being a small town, news got around pretty quickly. The police were helpful at first, and the local newspaper took a lot of interest as well. However, the story was never published, and the local television news never followed up either. For several months, my son Justin and I stayed in a hotel near my parents' house. After we decided to return home, I began looking for answers myself. I eventually located a man in the next town over who had a similar story. We got in contact and began talking about our experiences. He knew of 2 other people in New York who had seen this creature we now refer to as the Rake. It took the 4 of us about 2 solid years of hunting on the internet and writing letters to come up with a small collection of what we believed to be accounts of the Rake. None of them gave any details, history, or follow-up. One journal had an entry involving the creature in its first 3 pages and never mentioned it again. A ship's log explained nothing of the encounter, saying only that they were told to leave by the Rake. That was the last entry in the log. There were, however, many instances where the creature's visit was one of a series of visits with the same person. Multiple people also mentioned being spoken to, my daughter included. It led us to wonder if the Rake had visited any of us before our last encounter. I set up a digital recorder near my bed and left it running at night, every night for 2 weeks. I would tediously scan through the sounds of me rolling around in my bed each day when I woke up. By the end of the second week, I was quite used to the occasional sound of sleep while blurring through the recording at 8 times normal speed. This still took almost an hour every day. On the first day of the 3rd week, I thought I heard something different. What I found was a shrill voice. It was the Rake. I can't listen to it long enough to even begin to transcribe it. I haven't let anyone listen to it yet. All I know is that I have heard it before, and I now believe that it spoke when it was sitting in front of my husband. I don't remember hearing anything of the time, but for some reason the voice on the recorder immediately brings me back to that moment. The thoughts that must have gone through my daughter's head make me very upset. I have not seen the Rake since he ruined my life, but I know that he has been in my room while I slept. I know and fear that one night I'll wake up to see him staring at me.
Oh, good. That's actually a really interesting story.
Mm. I don't think I've ever like heard the opening like few story bits. I've heard like, the story of like the wife and husband, but I haven't heard like the opening parts.
Interesting. I might have to wing it for the rest of it. So,
Mm.
all right. My story is The Terror of the Batman.
Mm.
By the way, that's going to be a story that we're going to make. So,
Yes.
Consider this a bit of a prequel to that. Okay?
Mm.
All right. Rain pierced through the old and rotting planks of wood over above the train station as my friend followed a family with a little daughter in their arms. I questioned why my friends liked doing this every night, but this night was different because I saw something in the sky. "Hey Tommy, hurry up," one of my friends said as I saw the other grab a hold of the father as the mother and little girl plead for him to let go as they gut punched the father. I was sick to my stomach as they grabbed the belongings as they laughed, while continuing to kick the father as he was down. Then I saw the little girl look up and point towards the sky. I saw it again and whispered to my closest friend, then stopped when a loud noise coming from the darkened alleyway. Then heavy footsteps were followed, causing all my friends to look towards that alley as it got closer and closer. The little girl's eyes widened with amazement as my friends continued to laugh at the figure as I looked in fear. "Look at this guy," the leader of the group said as he pointed towards the figure. "The hell are you supposed to be?" the leader said, but it didn't respond. In frustration, the leader grabs a bit of a knife, and slowly walks towards the figure, perhaps trying to scare him, since it was Halloween. Until the figure grabbed his arm, twisted in a way that it broke, as he continued to punch him straight in the chest, over and over and over again, until he dropped to the ground, where he continued to punch him as he was on the ground, until he uttered a few words. "I'm vengeance." No longer were my friends laughing, as they knew what that was. They knew what that phrase meant. "It was him," some of them said, as he slowly got up. They all looked around for anything they can use against the figure. As it continued to walk towards them. "Tommy, take the loot," one of them said as all of them started fighting this figure. But one by one, the figure overwhelmed them and defeated them. I ran up the stairs, trying to get away from this figure. I see my last friend get knocked out. As the figure turned around and he saw me, so I ran fast. At least thinking I was fast, until something grabs my foot and I fall on the ground. Then I look up and see the figure somehow on the platform I was on, just walking towards me, not even going fast, because he knew he could take his time, and I was already down. I woke up in the police station with the bruise and all my friends in jail. From across the hall, all I hear is, "Man, this guy did beat him up." And all I heard, another person said, "Who?" And they're like, "You're serious?" is the Batman. It's a guy. This guy. Every criminal hates this guy. They fear him. And I was like, oh, it was him. Until there was a news report that something bad happened at the diner. Some sort of accident. Some sort of scare. Perhaps a scarecrow. Poisoning the people in the diner. Boo.
Wow.
Not a really scary story. I'm just...
That was really good.
Really?
Yeah.
Thanks. It leads up to the diner scene.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, well, it's not a scary story, but I just wanted to get that out there.
Nice.
So, yeah, Alright, so I'm going to do a bit of points. A point system. Point generator. Alright, to see who will get... that's not what I wanted. Random point generator. There we go. Oh. Give me a minute. I'm looking for just something. Alright. Alright, since we have... It's 1 through 6. On my first story, let's see what we get. Hey, I got a 5. Nice. Alright, your story. You got a 5 too. That's 5 for 5. We're tied.
Yeah.
Then, was it me next? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, next was girl on the photograph.
That's a 1. Okay. Now yours. You did another story, right?
Yeah,
you got 4.
I did.
Alright, now for the this is yours, right? Okay, 1 more. 2. And mine. I got a 2, that is 8. Congratulations, son. You won this one. With 11 points!
Yo.
Yeah, your stories were good. Like, really good. I actually liked the one about the rake. That was probably my favorite one out of that one.
Also consider this is like the first time I actually read these.
Me too.
I'm not gonna lie, my favorite was probably Candle Cove. I really enjoyed Candle Cove.
That's probably my second favorite one too.
I'm not gonna lie, Polybius kind of sucked.
Yeah.
There wasn't really much of a story to it.
I would say the Shadow Man would be 3rd.
Shadow Man was good.
Yeah. And that's the story I wrote. So, like, I took an idea and I made it into a story, which is pretty cool. And, yeah. And then we got the Terror of the Batman, which is also another story that I made. I'm not counting that as a story, so you still win overall. Yeah. Well, that was a bit of something. This kind of concludes this part of the episode. We can talk about other stuff if you want to, or just want to end the podcast like right now.
It did not matter.
Ah, okay. What do you think about San Diego Comic-Con? Comic-Con.
I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even realize this was happening until like they announced this, like all the Marvel stuff. What all did they announce?
They announced Phase 5 and like 3 films in Phase 6. The Fantastic Four, Avengers Kang Dynasty, and Avengers Secret Wars.
I'm excited for. I'm not gonna lie, I'm really excited for Secret Wars.
And they all are coming in 2 years. Well, 3.
Yeah.
2023, 2024, and 2025.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we might see the X-Men in Phase 7. New characters, maybe. But yeah.
Did you see
what?
Did you see they finally released the first R-rated movies on Disney Plus?
Yes, I watched Deadpool 1 and Deadpool 2. They're really good movies. I never watched them before. I knew about them, but I haven't watched them. I give them both. I give the first one 8 out of 10 and the second one 9 out of 10. But yeah. I don't know. I kind of hated that near the end of the episode we just don't know what else to talk about.
Yeah.
Because, we had this big idea, and that idea just finished like a few minutes ago, so, yeah.
Yeah.
Next podcast episode will be episode 16. We're almost towards the end of season 2.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing 20 for this one. Again.
Yes.
Not 30, as I said, but it's 20. We're almost there. So, hopefully we can get guests in the next few ones. I'll see if I can get Caleb on this one. And we'll get some people from the PogChamps. No, I don't think it's called PogChamps anymore. Freddy Fazbear's Tickle Dungeon. That's what it's called now. But yeah, I actually filmed a lot of stuff for, like, I think this week and next week, since I'm going to be on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
And, yeah. That's something. Our next big retrospective will probably be next season. But it won't be, like, multiple ones. Like, multiple episodes like we did the first time we did it. It might be 1 or 2 episodes.
Because we have editing.
Yeah. Either way, I don't edit podcast episodes. Maybe this one because of the introduction. But, yeah. So, thank you guys for listening to this episode. You can listen to this on Spotify, Google Podcast, and Anchor if you guys want to. You don't have to, but you can. It's free. And then you can download them and listen to them offline. You can listen to scary stories. And, I'm trying to think of some stupid to say, but I don't I don't know what to say. You got
Barack
any
Obama.
Barack Obama Obangan?
Obanga.
Oh, we gotta play Neckbots. You heard of that?
What? The what, huh?
I'll show you later. But yeah. Chuck you later. I'm just kidding. That's a different podcast thing. Oops. Well, we'll see you next time. Next episode. Podcast. Out.
Balls hanging low while I pop a bottle off of ya. Chain swinging, clang clang, and it costs a lot. Bitch, I'm always at the guala, yeah, and you are not badass beat. Keep on going till you hit the spot. Whoa, I'm a big bag hunter.